Before anything else, I would like to greet all of you with a Merry Christmas. I know this year has been tough for all of us, but I'm praying that all of you are safe along with your loved ones. Stay strong, and keep believing that there will be a brighter tomorrow. Okay, so I've promised that I will be doing an Orphix Venom video next, but I'm missing some key parts of the video. More specifically, I'm still leveling my Bone Widow, but it won't take long until it's fully leveled and I'll know what are the pros and cons of using this corn bot in the new event. Let's discuss that on another Warframe video, but for now, let's focus on this new Endgame Exalted meta. You have seen me in the past use the Cedo for increasing the nuking ability of Levos the Alchemist frame, but I did mention that this new Condition Overload shotgun is not only meant for Levos, but also exceptional when used in other combos and synergies. The most obvious one is a melee Condition Overload setup. You might think that only hybrid and status monster melee benefit from this shotgun, but this is where you are wrong. Every single melee weapon in the game, whether it's a pure status or crit based, can benefit from this primary weapon. Just slap Condition Overload on it, and you'll be gaining the bonus damage from this mod with the help of Cedo. Let's take example the ordinary Guandao with high crit based, but poor status chance. As you can see, this is the build I'm using, and check out the damage I can deal with this mod setup alone. Normally with the crit build, it feels like you are hitting a brick wall, even dealing some red crit numbers, even using the combo which force procs / still, you will need a couple of hits just to take down these high level heavy units, and this is not good especially if you are doing long endurance runs. Just for the record, I also tested the same mod setup, but removed Condition Overload and replaced it with Primed Pressure Point. The result wasn't that much of a difference as expected. Now, check out the damage I can deal when applying numerous status first with Cedo. Even if I'm only smacking enemies with the normal combo attack, and my combo count is not at max level, the normal Guandao can still delete the enemies easily compared to the previous clip I've shown earlier. And take note, the build I was using was not even a min-max build. This only shows the power of Cedo, and at the moment, this is the best when it comes to giving more bonus damage to Condition Overload setup. But the madness doesn't stop there. Not only normal melee weapon, but also exalted ones. Let's first discuss the very basic, the ones that are wielded by Valkyrie, Wukong and Excalibur. Honestly, I still believe that exalted melee weapons need a buff. They need to be stronger compared to ordinary melee weapons. But in the meantime, you can use Cedo to boost these exalted melee's power. Take for example Valkyrie. Previous builds I show for an exalted claw-oriented build is having the Enraged mod to boost its critical chance. However, there's a time limit on the Talon usage and you will have to wait for a couple of seconds to activate it again. With Cedo in hand, Valkyrie can easily demolish high-level enemies using this build for the frame, and this build for her talons. By the way, I build for Corrosive to give the highest elemental damage for the talons because of Primed Fever Strike. You can build it for viral or gas if you please. Just don't forget to equip Primed Fever Strike. Also, you should consider what type of element you are building in your Cedo. Do remember that you can proc 4 primary element, plus blast on this weapon, and you can mod for 2 more elemental combo. You can go with magnetic and gas, or viral and radiation. If you do viral, then it's best that you don't mod your melee weapon with viral obviously. But squad leader, I think Kuvanuka is still king when it comes to priming. Well, sorry to tell all those Kuvanuka fans, but Cedo has taken its throne when it comes to spreading status. You might think that this Condition Overload shotgun is only for shows in the testing room, and still, Kuvanuka will be more efficient than Cedo, but the reality is, this shotgun is very reliable in spreading numerous status. The glaive may appear unreliable because it bounces in random direction, however, it does bounce on every enemy unit nearby, which makes it very reliable in applying status. Plus, if you can infuse something like Ensnare in your frame, then it would be easier to proc status on enemies. The same concept can be applied with Wukong's Iron Staff. For the Monkey King you can go with duration, some power strength, and high armor value, along with the Primal Rage Augment, and then, go with the usual build for Iron Staff. The main problem with both Valkyrie and Wukong is that they can't equip acolyte mods like Blood Rush and Weeping Wounds, which could possibly boost their damage to 2 folds. With the help of a Condition Overload Cedo setup, we can at least attain that damage that we want from their exalted melee weapons. You can also change how you build both Excalibur and Excalibur Umbra's Exalted Blade. How you mod their exalted blade will still stay the same, and it will have the same elemental, raw damage, attack speed, healing return, and some critical mods. However, we will not be focusing on gaining high status chance anymore. In fact, we can free up one mod slot intended for chromatic blade, and min-max the range or efficiency of our Excalibur. The Cedo will inflict tons of status on enemies that you don't even need status chance in your build at all. This maximizes the damage of a condition overload exalted blade setup, while making your Warframe build better overall. But wait, there's more. Corey may not need this shotgun, but it sure makes Whipclaw super nasty that it could possibly one-hit all targets that are afflicted with status. The Corey build is just simply high range with both accumulating Whipclaw and pilfering Strangledome, and I used the usual jaw sword stat stick, only this time, instead of adding primed pressure point, I added condition overload. The best part is, Whipclaw can also use acolyte mods like Weeping Wounds and Blood Rush to further push the damage to insanity. Like I've said, this is not necessary, but who would not want more power in this power fantasy game? Now the last one is weird at first, since the wiki said that condition overload doesn't work with Atlas Landslide, and I was shocked why the hell I am able to one-punch high-level heavy units easily. Then, I realized that Cedo does efficiently spread both viral and heat to enemies, and Ensnare makes it better as the Cedo's glaive just bounces over and over to the group enemies, and every radial attack spreads the status faster. You won't see any billion damage in this setup, but it actually one-punch high-level heavily armored units easily. Clearly, Cedo right now is one of the best endgame weapons. It may not have that raw damage like Kuva Brahma, but its utility for spreading status is very excellent. I can make various melee condition overload weapons extremely powerful, and it can also make exalted weapons insane. Have you tried this shotgun on any combos that I've shared in this video? If you have something to share, then don't hesitate to share it in the comment section below. I'll see you in my next Operation Orphex Venom video. Thank you so much for watching. Squad Leader signing off.
This is the future. Human error. Evolution. This is the future.